Welcome back to the Creepy Files. Today we're talking about another FNaF tape, or I guess a series of tapes, this time by DARKLORD on YouTube. So let's jump right in. This set of tapes is interesting because it covers a lot of ground. As far as I can tell, the earliest tape dates back to 1973, and the most recent is 1993. What makes these tapes unique is how much ground they cover in such a short period of time. So far, we have 5 tapes. Now, that isn't to say that these are without their flaws, though. Having seen a lot of FNaF tapes now, some of the stuff on here seems like it's trying to mimic instead of transform. That being said, I think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Tape 1 covers pretty standard fare when it comes to these Five Nights at Freddy's tapes. It's a technical test of the Freddy model dating back to 1973, and it ends in a jump scare. Tape 2 is a little more interesting. There's narration over a maintenance tape for Bonnie that seems a little off. Interesting to note, this is the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Bonnie, not the Bonnie from the Withered era, so we've jumped in the timeline. Bonnie jump scares the camera and we get some text calling for the viewer to find the others and figure it out. Tape 3 starts as a video that's a little familiar. Anyway, as the man behind the camera tests the toy Chica's capabilities, the camera falls and Chica attacks. There's some really good animation of the guy being chased before, well, he presumably dies. Tape 4 is probably the most unique of the bunch, and I think it's the one that shines the most. It's essentially a TV commercial for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and take note here that it's the FNaF 1 location. I have to say, the nostalgia in this video is masterful. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of story significance here as far as I can tell, except maybe the happiest day quote. The 5th and final tape is called Archive Footage, and I really like this one. It's security footage of the FNaF 1 location. We see Foxy slowly coming out of Pirate's Cove, the sign changing from out of order to it's me to don't do it. Foxy gets closer and closer to the office, and then we see Foxy's text. It's him. He will pay for what he has done. We're coming for you, William Afton. The most interesting thing from this tape is in the description, though, saying that the tape was found after Freddy Fazbear's Pizza collapsed. Okay, so we've talked about what the tapes are, but what can we glean from them? Well, honestly, not a lot right now. It's not any fault of the creator, I just think we're not very far into the series yet. So what can we say about it? Well, from a technical standpoint, it's very well done. The animation looks nice, the audio is really good, and the VHS aesthetic works really well. I only wish there was a tad more originality in some of the tapes themselves. Okay, so what about the story? Well, if you've watched any of my Squimpus McGrimpus videos or my Disc-ROM video, you might know the gist already. It's using the lore of the games, but telling them from a different perspective, from a side we don't see very much in the games. The spirits, the animatronics themselves. What's particularly interesting about this series, though, is it seems to be focusing a little more on the revenge that the animatronics are trying to enact on William Afton. And this is why the last tape is so interesting. The 5th tape is from the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 pizzeria, and all the others before that one seem to be targeting the audience, or maybe some other character in the universe. Either way, they're more asking for the viewer to help, but that last one is meant to be found by William. It's a threat. They mention him by name. In Five Nights at Freddy's 3, William Afton goes after the animatronics after the pizzeria is closed. However, the spirits get revenge on him, and he becomes Springtrap. That is the revenge that they're talking about. Likely, the people who found the archive footage tape are the very same people who let Springtrap loose in FNaF 3 in the first place, rummaging through the wreckage of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza looking for some souvenir to add to their horror attraction. Now, I feel like I have to put this disclaimer here. I know these aren't canon to the games, but as far as I can tell, they're using the game's lore, so that's my theory on this series. All in all, I really like this series of tapes. There's a lot of potential, so I hope to see them go more original places with it soon. Let me know what you want me to cover next time on the Creepy Files in the comments or on my Twitter and Instagram. See you all next time.